So here we are with Battlefield of Time Season 1 Hobgoblin, this time with the Hunters instead of Sung Jin Woo. I gotta tell you guys, this one was very annoying to deal with. I did a lot of testing, figured out the best way to do it and the best way to explain how to beat the Hobgoblin. The team we are using is going to be Min, Lim and Bora for this one in the specific order. Before I continue talking about the Battlefield of Time, I want to let you guys know that I'm still recruiting members for my guild. If you're interested to join, link in the description below to join my Discord. Easy guild application. When it comes to the build, Igris, Leader, Serbi and Iron as support shadows, and for the weapons, Min with his signature weapon to increase the damage. If you have copies of it, use it. Nonetheless, you want to use it anyways, no matter how many dupes you have for that. Now when it comes to Bora and Lim, I'm going to use the sword, which increases elemental weakness damage. So for Bora I gave the A10 blue version, and I gave Lim the A5 purple version. I did a lot of testing, I guess, between the A10 blue and the A5 purple. I didn't feel that much of a difference damage wise. I'm not even 100% sure, to be honest. I went with the purple version just because it had a high elemental weakness damage multiplier, so this one allowed me to break the Hobgoblin's bar a little bit faster. Now when it comes to the build, Min straightforward aqua set to increase the attack, and as well as the holy set to also further increase the attack of Bora and Lim. Bora very simple with a full curse set to maximize her damage output, and Lim is more of a Frankenstein build, the best of all worlds. So we got a 2-piece solid analysis set to increase the break damage, and also a 2-piece one-hit kill set to increase his ult skill damage, 2-piece curse for more damage increase, and a 2-piece Sylph set. I'm showing you what it does again. So when you're using a QT skill or an ult, it increases the elemental weakness damage dealt by 5%. So this set here allows us to break a little bit more than usual, as well as increase our dark damage for Lim and Bora. And this is the set I opt for. And when it comes to the skills, the most important ones are the ult skill is at level 7 and the Typhon Fire is at level 7. And for Bora, all her skills are level 7 except for the Tempest, but that we don't need. But make sure you get most of the stuff to level 7 to increase also your damage output. Now I'm giving you a step-by-step guide on how to approach this Battlefield of Time session with the Hunters. There are a lot of details you have to pay attention to really optimize this run as much as you possibly can, and to remove the randomness of it, even though there's still a lot of randomness to it. Now once you enter, you start off with Min, so our rotation is Min, Lim, Bora, as I mentioned before. But so you're going to dash with Min twice, and make sure that Min is facing this direction, so he's basically looking at these two goblins. The next thing we're going to do is we're casting the circle with Min. You didn't see because it was quite fast. You're casting the circle, and as soon as you cast the circle, we are going to switch to Bora. Once we switch to Bora, we're casting her circle and casting her minions. Now what we're going to do here is we are spamming the basic attack a little bit to fill up this meter here, so we get her core attack ready. And we're waiting for this circle right here to connect to these goblins at the back, so they receive the punishment debuff. Once that happened, we are casting the second circle of Bora to kill them at the back. Now we're turning around to face these goblins here. Our core attack is now ready, which we will be using right now to inflict the goblins with the charm debuff. And now we're going to cast our third circle, which kills all of these goblins. And now we have these two mini bosses. And now we're facing this mini boss right next to us, just using the basic attack. And then we waited for the minions to recover, so we're using the minion skill immediately again. And now this guy is jumping. This is like 99% of the time this will happen, he will jump you. Now we are also waiting for this moment because we are going to dodge. Now once we did that, we are just casting another circle and spamming our core attack. And when they both died, when both the goblins that you want to make sure right before they're dying or when they're dying, you want to QTE Min in so that we enter the Hobgoblin stage with Min. Now against the Hobgoblin, the first thing you want to do immediately is going to cast the circle, followed up by the core attack so we can use the QTE of Limb. So you can also, which I did for consistency purposes, after I use the core attack, I do one dash with Min and immediately trigger the QTE to make sure I connect the QTE skill of Limb to inflict an extra break damage. And as there are two different situations here when it comes to the Hobgoblin. So either he's going to follow up with attacks, like those random attacks. If that happens, you're completely fine. Just proceed and spam the Typhoon Fire as soon as you can. Just press the button to trigger it. You basically have super armor anyways, you don't get interrupted and the skill will connect. But sometimes he's just slowly walking back. And when he's slowly walking back, you wanna dash in 1 or 2 times in front of him to make sure that your Typhoon Fire connects. Now once we did that, let's charge this up. We dash forward. We are using this skill 2 times and then follow up by the core attack. Or 3 times, depends. Sometimes I'm doing this way, sometimes I do it the other way. But to be more efficient, you want to use the maneuver skill twice, fill up the core, use the core, then use the maneuver skill again, and then use the core attack again. So basically what we're trying to do here is connect all our break skills. And now we have to wait a little bit. So we stay with Limb. Now our skills are about to be ready. So we use the maneuver skill again, followed up by the core attack. So he has like just a little bit of break bar left. And this is now where there's a lot of stuff happening at once. Now, as soon as the Typhoon Fire is ready, you are going to use the Typhoon Fire. While this is loading, you are casting the Shadow Army and switch to Bora. This is something that happens within less than a second. Once you did that, we're going to use one circle immediately. Use the minions, and this is now everything at the same time happens and the goblin breaks. Now we're casting the minion. Once this has happened, we are using our second circle, and now we stay with Bora till we apply the charm debuff on the Hobgoblin. Now you don't see it, but we got the charm debuff on the Hobgoblin because I triggered it. And once you did that, you want to switch back to Min ASAP, trigger his ult, and now we're going to use the circle skill. Once we use the circle skill, we're going to switch back to Limb and trigger his ult. Once his ult is triggered, now this is the time. So we have now the defense break, the Glim debuff of Min, the charm debuff, and the debuff of the Serbi. I forgot the name of it. But now here we're just spamming the ult damage of Limb and trying to get as much damage out as possible. And you have to hope for a lot of crits, by the way. The more crits, the better, the faster the time is. And once you run out of the ult, so this is where you run out. Now, when you run out of the ult, you're going to cast Typhoon Fire. So you have that little bit of extra damage. When you do that, we are switching now back to Bora. Now with Bora, same thing, circle first, minions next, and now he's idling a little bit. And after his idling phase, he will move, but let's not pay attention to that one for a bit. We use the circle, casted the minions, use the circle again. We're spamming basic attacks in the hopes that we can get the core. Now, when you are with Bora in this situation, when you see him moving after his idle time, this is where you trigger her ult to deal damage. So this is your call. When he starts moving to do his raw ult. If you can get the core attack out before he's doing that, good. If not, that's for that. But you wanna use the ult when he's about to raw. And then we're following up with the core attack. And now we just keep spamming basic attacks and the circle, whatever you can, and we stick with Bora until the end. Yeah, and that sums up the entire run. That's it for today, guys. If you liked and enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it. See you with the next one. Deuces.